You might have seen it in movies or read about it in books, but is it real? And can a normal human actually learn it? First things first, yes, telekinesis is real. But before you go trying to bend spoons with your mind, let's break down what telekinesis actually is. Telekinesis or psychokinesis is the ability to move objects using only the power of the mind. Now, how does one even begin to learn telekinesis? It's not like taking a crash course or learning a new hobby. The relationship between mind and matter operates on a different plane, beyond our usual physical understanding of cause and effect. So where do you start? Begin with concentration. Developing your focus is key. Start small. Think about trying to move a tiny object like a feather or a piece of paper. The idea is to increase your concentration power and reinforce the inner strength you gain over time. Many people who have learned telekinesis did so through intense practice and by nurturing their mental abilities. Imagine trying to reduce the weight of an object to zero, or generating heat from nothing, or even creating vibrations in material objects at will. These are examples of breaking physical barriers using the mind. It's not an overnight journey. It requires dedication, patience, and a strong belief in the power of your mind. As you practice, you might notice small changes, an object twitching slightly, a vibration where there was none before. These are signs that you're on the right path. Remember, every mind works differently. What might take one person a few months could take another years. The key is to stay persistent and keep pushing those mental boundaries. So, what is the difference between psychokinesis and telekinesis? For starters, both rely on the power of your mind to control the world around you. Where they differ, however, is in what exactly you're controlling. Put simply, in the case of psychokinesis, your powers influence someone's mind to take action. With telekinesis, you have the ability to manipulate objects directly. For example, it's been a long day, and you finally sit down on the couch to relax with your partner and watch some TV. The show you're watching ends, but you don't want to watch what's showing next. And wouldn't you know it, the remote is out of reach on the far side of your coffee table. Sure, you could get up, walk all the way over there, get the remote and walk back. Or you could use your powers. If you've got psychokinesis, you introduce a small suggestion into your partner's mind. They should get the remote. And while they're at it, they may as well grab a snack. If you've got telekinesis, your power lets you directly manipulate the remote, levitating it off the table and into your hand. In both cases, the outcome is the same, but the mental mechanism differs. But what about telekinesis in its most classic, unassisted form? Is it possible for everyone to move objects with their minds? To answer this, let's dive into some basic physics and biology. We all know about the law of conservation of energy, which states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed, only transformed. When we think, our brain produces an electrical signal that commands our body to act. This electrical energy originates from the food we consume, converting into the energy that powers our brain. Now imagine if we could transfer this energy from our brain to the electrons in the surrounding environment. This transfer could, in theory, enable telekinesis. But how exactly does this work? Electrical energy in our brain travels through neurons, and these neurons are filled with electrons. The same type of electrons exists in our surroundings. Theoretically, if we could transfer this electrical energy from our brain to the electrons around us, we might be able to move objects. However, this process is incredibly complex and requires complete mastery over our brain, a feat that science suggests is beyond our current capabilities. Studies indicate that a normal human being uses only about 10% of their brain at any given time. To achieve telekinesis, one would theoretically need to harness 100% of their brain's potential, a concept that remains firmly in the realm of science fiction. But what does science really say about brain utilization? The notion that we only use a small fraction of our brain's capacity is a misconception. Neurologists and brain researchers have shown that virtually all parts of the brain have known functions. Modern imaging techniques, such as MRI scans, reveal that even simple tasks involve multiple areas of the brain working together. So in reality, we are using much more than just 10% of our brain at any given time. However, this doesn't mean that our brain doesn't have untapped potential. While we may use more than 10% of our brain, the efficiency and effectiveness of how we use it can vary greatly. In conclusion, while the concept of telekinesis remains a fascinating topic of discussion, scientific evidence supporting its existence is still lacking. Whether telekinesis is real or not, if not, how does everybody else do it?